You're watching Valley Vision TV on Comcast Channel 7.
Hello and welcome to Mac and Bob's Maroons Tuesday Night Live here on Wednesday, October 26th. Tonight we'll be joined by field hockey coach Brianna Banks, field hockey senior Lee Sheldon, volleyball alum Heather Hunter, women's soccer junior Cindy Sutsar, along with women's soccer coach Phil Benny, men's soccer alum Steve Holt, captain Andrew Howe, along with head coach Scott Allison, in addition to, as always, Dave Sampson with our meets of the week.
Starting out our recap, the field hockey team has won their last two contests, earning 2-1 victories over Washington Lee and Virginia Wesleyan. 4 different Maroons have scored in those contests, including Kelly Finn, Liana Hackborn, Julian Brown, and Lee Sheldon, who we'll be talking to later tonight. Hackborn leads the team in goals with 6, while Mariel Hunt has a team-high 5 assists. Tina Ciccoloni ranks 3rd in the conference with 143 saves to her credit.
The men's soccer team clinched the #1 spot in the ODAC tournament with an overall record of 12-5-1, while going 7-2-1 within the ODAC. Since our last show, the Maroons have picked up victories over Guilford, that one coming 1-0, 3-1 over Randolph-Macon, and 3-0 the shutout over Bridgewater. However, they have lost their last 2 contests 2-1 against Randolph College and against Hampton City 1-0. At the end of the regular season, Brian White leads the team with 8 goals, while Peyton Lambert has 7 assists.
In volleyball, the Maroons returned from Hollins yesterday evening with a 3-0 victory in their final ODAC contest of the season. The Maroons trailed 20-15 in the first set, but mounted a 10-2 rally to win 25-22. They would go on to win the next 2 sets, 25-22 and 25-21, respectively. Samantha Klosterman led the team with 12 kills, while Sarah Long had 9, and Rachel Hawkins and Kelsey Largen each finished with 8. Shannon Stone finished with a match-high 36 assists by the end of the evening.
The women's soccer team heads to the ODAC tournament holding the #3 overall seed. They clinched that spot with a 3-0 victory over Randolph-Macon. With the Randolph-Macon contest, the Maroons have gone undefeated since our last show, defeating Sweetbriar, Guilford, and Mary Washington. Carmen Graves leads the team with 7 goals. Oronoque has outscored its opponents 36-10 so far this season. Richmond will be right back with field hockey head coach Brianna Banks.
Back with field hockey coach Brianna Banks. Now, Coach, it has been a tale of 2 seasons for you. You start out 0-5, and then you rack up 6 wins, 4 in the ODAC over the last month. Both win totals are the most since the 2004 season, which was the last winning season for the program. How has the resurgence influenced your team over the last 4 weeks?
I think most of all, it just gives them, a lot of belief and hope in what they could possibly do, and with all the hard work that they put in all season, it just goes to show, that we're not the old Roanoke field hockey team that it used to be, and once that happens, once you start winning some games, and you just kind of feed off of that and feed off of each other, and I think that they just. They get excited now. They want to play. They don't get intimidated. They don't, get scared to go out against the opponents. They want to go out because they can, win these games and beat these teams. So, they're really excited to just hopefully continue that success.
Now, last week the Maroons had 2 big wins, probably the most memorable in the last 7 years. Roanoke defeated Washington Lee for the first time since 2004 and turned around and knock off Virginia Wesleyan, which was second in the ODAC standings last weekend. Describe the meaning of the last 2 wins for you, your team, and the program as a whole.
Just huge. Just again beating Virginia Wesleyan second in the ODAC conference with a 5-1 record. You tend to, as you prepare, and as the girls kind of just do their own preparing, they check it out and they see, what their records is and who they're beating and whatnot. So they kind of always want to compare them to the other teams that they're playing. But I mean, it was just huge just to be able to just go out and score 2 goals in the first half and hold them pretty much the whole game until the last few minutes of the game, them scoring a goal. But they just came out so strong in the first half of that Virginia Wesleyan game. It was amazing. We played really awesome, great passing game. The team worked really, really well together. Took some shots. As far as the Washington and Lee game, that was also very rewarding. Again, since 2004, some of these teams we haven't beaten so long. So just getting those wins and, it just makes it big and fun for the whole team.
Now, the win last Saturday against Virginia Wesleyan was the final home game for the seniors, the class of 2011. Can you tell us the class of 2012, the playing class of 2011. Can you tell us what that win meant to them from your perspective?
Everybody goes out their senior season and, just plays their hardest. And they did a phenomenal job of doing that. The seniors were super psyched to go out and play, wanting to win for their families that came down. But, just from my standpoint, it was I've only been with the team for 2 years, but for me it was very emotional just because the seniors deserve it so much because they've been through so much in their 4 years here, and just to see them smile when they get that win or when we score that goal, and it's rewarding for me, and I hope they're feeling the same thing that I'm feeling.
Now, you have a big regular season finale tomorrow against Eastern Mennonite, which has been an ODAC power in field hockey for a long time now. Now, in the preseason, you defeated the Royals, and the girls seem, pretty fired up about the contest. With the ODAC tournament starting on Saturday, how have you prepared your team this week as you've led the Maroons to their first conference tournament since 2008?
I know, yay. Just kind of keeping them focused, making sure, that they're looking at this game before they're looking at the tournament play. This game is very, very important as far as standing goes. If we win, we could be hosting on Saturday. So now all the girls, we just found out the score of the Virginia Randolph-Macon game, Randolph-Macon winning 4-1. So we're all just, sending emails to each other and, just making sure that we're focusing. And, I know that they have a lot of work to do as far as school, but making sure that, our field hockey team comes priority tomorrow, throughout the day. And just go in there and just be as psyched as you would to get, for your senior game, or if it's possible your last game ever that you're going to play, and what are you going to do. So, we haven't beat them in a regular season since 1988. So hopefully, letting the kids know that they're going to have a little bit more incentive to just, get the job done. And they're capable of doing it. So I hope so.
Now, with a win tomorrow against Eastern Mennonite, you would pick up a 4 seed in the ODAC tournament, and you would get to host a game here on campus. What is it? Does that kind of solidify the successful season that you all have had this year to be able to host a game? It would be the first time since 2004 to host a game here, to have home field advantage. What would that mean to the team?
Just so much. Again, it would just come back to all the hard work they put in. You talked about how we started off 0-5. We started off with some really, really tough teams, and I think that was great competition for them to get ready for the ODAC play, and I think it's worked in their advantage. And I hope that they just continue with wanting that that win and having that feeling of being successul. And it's huge. It would be all three fall teams, women's and men's soccer, to be hosting all of us in the same day. I just think it would be very exciting just for the school in general and for the kids. Hopefully we'll all get out and root for each other at some point in the day. And I just think it would be really, really good for Roanoke in general.
Well, I think it would certainly be exciting to have all three teams hosting, and I can already see our sports information director, Brad Moore, sweating at the idea. But good luck tomorrow against Eastern Mennonite. And, of course, thank you for being on the show, and we will be back with field hockey senior Lee Sheldon. we are back with field hockey senior Lee Sheldon. Now, you came from a strong high school field hockey program in Connecticut, playing at Darren High School. What did you like about playing field hockey at an early age, and did you play any other sports growing up?
Well, I first started playing soccer when I was growing up, but then switched to field hockey in 4th grade when they offered a program at the YMCA, and I just fell in love with it. I was really passionate about it. I loved being on a team with all the girls that were passionate about the sport, and I played soccer in elementary school, and then in high school I played basketball and lacrosse.
Now, were you aware of field hockey before they brought it into the YMCA? You'd watch it a lot?
Yeah, I had a lot of older girl cousins that played in high school, so I'd always go to their games and stuff, and I just really enjoyed the sport.
Now, we have had several Darien graduates, such as Ashton Hoshkis, Tim Hammernick, and other recent graduates to attend Roanoke to play sports. Did you hear about Roanoke College through some of those classmates?
Yes, I heard about Roanoke College through friends at school. I actually played lacrosse in high school with Melissa Madelon, who graduated in May of 2011, and she was the one who said you should go play lacrosse or field hockey at Roanoke College, and here I am now.
Now, this season with the field hockey has been quite the swan song for the senior class who stuck through the good and bad seasons with the field hockey program. This season, you have led the Maroons to the ODAC tournament for the first time since your freshman year, earned more wins this season since the last 2 seasons combined, and posted more overall and conference wins since the 2004 season. Yeah. What do these accomplishments mean to you in your final collegiate season?
Well, it's a great feeling that we finally have a team that's playing well together and we're winning. I mean, Coach Banks has done a great job with recruiting this new freshman class, and they are in it to win it, and I've just really enjoyed this season.
Has there been something, anything that's happened, in practice or talking with the coaches that's really just made a switch between last season and this season?
I think the team atmosphere, it's a lot more positive on the field, and we all get along a lot better, I think.
Certainly, that definitely breathes over to the success there. Now, with the win over Virginia Wesleyan last weekend on Senior Day, that had to be an emotional day for the senior class. They've seen the program rise from the bottom of the conference to chance to host an ODAC tournament for the first time since 2004. What message would you leave for the underclassmen going forward with this program?
I would have to say give the program all you have, hang in there. I mean, even though I haven't had a winning season in my 4 years here, the closeness that we have in the team is gratifying, and I'm really going to miss field hockey at Roanoke.
Now, with the game against Eastern Mennonite tomorrow, what are you all looking forward to in that game? What have you all talked about going into that game?
We just want to come out with a win. We're really excited because if we win tomorrow, then we get to host the game on Saturday, the first ODAC game.
Well, certainly good luck with the game tomorrow.
Thank you.
We hope to see you all play at home on Saturday, and thanks for joining us on Tuesday Night Live. And we will be back with volleyball alumnus Heather Cook-Hunter.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
We are back here with volleyball alumnus Heather Cook-Hunter. Now, you were quite the force on the volleyball team under Coach Blair Trail from 2001 to 2004. You were named the 2004-2005 Roanoke Female Athlete of the Year, following a very illustrious career, which included 3 all ODAC and 2 Virginia SID All-State selections. How did you get your start in volleyball?
I tell you, it's kind of interesting to hear all of those stats. I haven't heard them in so long. I mean, it's not too big of an interesting story. I started playing when I was in middle school and all through high school, and I would what better than to play a sport that you could just smash a ball in somebody's face and it be legal? So that's how I kind of start playing, and I've been playing ever since and still play now.
Now, you set the school and ODAC records in career kills with 1,630 as an outside hitter. Did you ever have to play middle?
I was actually originally a middle hitter, and it was one tournament my sophomore year, and I remember it clearly. We were in Georgia for a volleyball tournament, and Coach Trail said, "Okay, we're not doing so well. Let's just change some things up," and put me on outside, and then I started playing ever since then. And to be honest, I know there's a height. I'm 6 feet tall, but I would rather play outside any day. So. Yeah.
Well, that's certainly always a good feeling when it's just one of those moments where it completely changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you were a part of a very special senior class, which included an ODAC runner-up finish in 2001, a school record 24 wins in 2002, and a 23-6 mark in 2003. What year was the best experience for you, and what was the best moment that you experienced as a player with the Maroons?
Sophomore year was great just because, I had a position change and it worked out well for me. And, the team was at its best, communication-wise. And, junior year was good as well. I'd say one of my best moments in the Maroons is that, WNL and Bridgewater have always been the two top teams for volleyball. And we were playing Bridgewater my junior year. It was fall break week. We hardly had any fans there. We had to drive to North Carolina that night after our game. We were all psyched up, and we beat Bridgewater for the first time. Wow. And they were a top-end team, and that was probably the best moment I've ever had.
Was it a point in the season where that really kind of turned things around?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I remember the exact play and everything. Coach told us, don't block. They're hitting well, don't block. And I was just up there, and just something told me to go up, and it just went straight down on the left side. It was probably one of the best moments.
Now, you have since remained with the Roanoke College family as an admissions counselor, and you have remained active in volleyball, playing on some competitive teams after your playing days were over in Salem. What does it mean to you to be part of the Roanoke College family?
If you ask any alum, for years and years and years, they'll always say the people. From athletics to admissions to people in the dining hall, everyone, you just feel like a family. And they supported me for my 4 years in Roanoke, and they still support me now in my job. And what better than to work for a school that's, a national liberal arts college that's just going places. So it means a lot.
Good. Well, again, thank you for being on the show this evening. It's certainly always great to have all of our alumni come back, and please come back again.
Absolutely.
It would be fantastic to have you.
Thank you so much.
Nick will be back in just one moment with women's soccer junior Cindy Sutora.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Welcome back to Mac and Bob's here in Tuesday Night Live. I'm here with women's soccer junior Cindy Sutora. Now, Cindy, you come from Long Island, kind of a long way away from Roanoke. How'd you find your way down here to Salem?
Well, actually, my dad worked with a man whose daughter went here, and his son went here. And from then on, we kind of just started doing research, and that's kind of how we found it. And then soccer came along, definitely looking to play in college and everything. So that's pretty much pretty much through research, we found it.
Outside of soccer, what else drew you to come down to Roanoke?
Well, I definitely wanted to kind of get out of New York. I definitely love being up north, but definitely wanted a change of pace. And I think coming down to Virginia definitely would give me that. And I looked at a few schools down here, but Roanoke was definitely the one for me. And I just fell in love with the campus when I came to see it and everything. So.
Now, in high school, you also played lacrosse in addition to playing soccer. Did you ever have thoughts of playing lacrosse here at Roanoke for Coach Schwartz?
I definitely did look into it. I really loved lacrosse throughout high school. I played from freshman year throughout my junior year, but soccer definitely, it was a toss-up for sure. I knew I wanted to play soccer, but I definitely looked into lacrosse too, but overall I just decided to go with the soccer.
Now, you're in your junior year here, so you've already played 2 years, had 2 academic full years under your belt. What kind of adjustments have you had to make, not only on the field but off the field as well, to adjust to a college lifestyle?
Well, definitely had to learn how to prioritize my time more. I went to a pretty rigorous high school, but you're kind of on your own when you come to college, and you need to learn how to really balance things, especially playing a college sport at that level where you're traveling and constantly on the road. So I definitely needed to learn how to organize my time. And freshman year was a little tough, but by sophomore year, I kind of got it down and just took it from there.
Now, this season you've emerged as a starter, put up 4 goals, had a multi-goal game against Eastern Mennonite back on the 8th, tallying twice. What did you do in the offseason to really boost yourself ahead and take a starting job on this team?
Well, I knew coming in freshman year, got a little bit of time. Sophomore year, just kept working my way up, and I knew, like, it's already my junior year. Really wanted to get that starting spot, and just pretty much worked my butt off over the summer and trained a lot with my club teams from home, and just really worked as hard as possible. And then even through preseason, just did the best I could, and I think it's paying off a little bit more this year. So.
Now, you guys entered the ODAC tournament on Saturday with the home game. What kind of advantage do you think your team has playing at Kerr Stadium on Saturday?
Well, it's always great to have your friends and family watching, either online or if they can make it to the games and stuff. So that definitely helps us a lot, having fans and supporting us and everything. So I think that'll definitely give us the advantage and not being on the road. So it'll be great to have that fan base and everything. So I think it'll definitely give us the upper hand.
Now, through just about 2.5 years at Roanoke, you've gone through some interesting experiences. Had an injury, maybe a little bit of a setback. You've seen this team ranked in the top 25. You also had your first multi-goal game. What is your favorite memory playing soccer at Roanoke so far?
Well, I'll definitely have to say it was this year recently when we beat the ranked number 10 Virginia Wesleyan. Definitely a huge game. We were their first loss, and I think it's just awesome that they're our biggest rival pretty much, and we just love beating them. And I know we got beat by them at the end of our season last year, so it was great to come back with a win and score early on in that overtime. So definitely one of the best memories so far.
Now, this is your first time on the show. Is there anyone you want to say hi to watching at home?
Sure. Hey, Mom, and my brother, Mike.
Cindy, thanks so much for coming down. Good luck on
Thanks so much,
Saturday.
Nick.
Richmond, we'll be right back with women's soccer head coach Phil Benny.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Back with women's soccer coach Phil Benny. Now, your team has rebounded late in the season, picking up 3 straight ODAC wins to lock up the number 3 seed in the ODAC tournament. With an 8-3 conference finish, the women will host the ODAC quarterfinal matchup against Guilford. Now, how do you feel about the outcome of the conference tournament and how it will determine an NCAA postseason possibility for you all?
You know, we're fortunate we play probably in one of the toughest women's soccer conferences in the country. You know, right now we got shoot, in the NCAA poll, 4 teams ranked, and in the coaches poll, we have 5 teams ranked. So, obviously the ODAC champion gets the automatic bid, and hopefully we position ourselves, if we want to win the conference, and that's our goal. Hopefully we position ourselves to maybe get that second or third at-large bid. So the strength of the conference is unbelievable. I mean, we had Bridgewater, WNL, ourselves, and anything can happen in this conference.
Now, and to speak on the strength of the conference, Carmen Graves was named ODAC Player of the Week, which is the first time in 2 years a Maroon has garnered this honor. What kind of impact has the Christiansburg product made on the team this season?
I mean, Carmen's really done a tremendous job for us. I mean, she's scoring goals for us, scoring winning goals, really attacking the ball out of the air, and she's winning the balls off the corners and putting it in the net. But beyond that, she works from 18 to 18, offensively, defensively. She's great on the ball. I mean, her athleticism and her speed. I mean, she's really become in her junior year a total player, especially after being injured for half the season last year. So. She's really made a huge impact for us, and it was great to see her get that award last week.
Absolutely deserving of it after watching all of the games that we've done at home here online. Now, checking out the NCAA South Atlantic Regional Rankings, Roanoke was selected 6th, just behind Virginia Wesleyan, which you defeated in a 1-0 overtime thriller on Parents' Weekend, and Keene University was dropped 2 games last week. With 2 of your 4 losses coming against 2 nationally ranked opponents, how does your resume stack up with the rest of the teams in that regional poll?
Like I said, the rankings just came out today, and we bypassed Keene, jumped into the 6th spot, and we just got to win. We just got to take care of wins. We got to win against Guilford, and then if we're fortunate enough to do that, we got to go in the semifinals, whoever we play there, and if we win, we take care of the business. But, our strength of schedule is right up there with everyone else. We got great wins against ranked opponents. We beat Virginia Wesleyan, and we beat Salisbury. And as you mentioned, we lost two ranked opponents, Lynchburg and Emory. So, our resume is stacking up, and we just wanted to get better as we go along, so we just got to win.
And to go on with an even longer resume over the last 6 consecutive years, you've had 10-plus win seasons, which is the second best mark in women's soccer history at Roanoke, behind the stretch from 1990 to 96, which was at the start of your career here at Roanoke College. This season saw the program's 300th win, which came last week against Guilford, again, who you're facing this weekend, and 2 weeks with votes in the NSCAA Top 25 poll. Did you know about the milestone win last week, and what does it mean for the program, which has only been at Roanoke since 1985?
I didn't know until I read the notes going into this interview, and that's a great milestone. And looking back into those days, the landscape of women's soccer has changed tremendously. Back then, you look at, we were playing NC State, we were playing Duke. You really had to look around to play teams, and now it's so competitive, and you see that in our conference, you see that nationally. But it's great for the program. And, I've had a ton of great players playing for me. Coach Hartman before me, did a great job getting this program up and running, and so it's something to be proud of.
Absolutely, and again, keep those wins going and keep that number getting higher and higher. Well, again, thank you for being on the show with us this evening, and good luck to you against Guilford this weekend. The time of the game is still up in the air, as we're kind of waiting to see how many games we'll be playing on Saturday. But again, good luck this Saturday. And we will be back in just one moment with men's soccer alumnus Steve Holt.
Hi, my name's Emily Crew, and I'm majoring in business administration with a concentration in accounting. I thought I was going to go to a big school, but when I came and visited the campus, I fell in love, and it seemed like Roanoke picked me. When I came to school, I knew I wanted to get involved. I knew I wanted to do a rush, but I didn't know which one I wanted yet. I saw the 5 new girls walking around campus. I knew they were a lot of fun, and they were extremely involved, and I knew I could fit in. Looking back, I couldn't be happier with my decision. I've been able to experience new leadership and service opportunities while making friends that will last a lifetime. Find Me focuses on service and giving back. We participate in Salem Ambassadors, a group which works on projects to help our Salem neighbors. We also participate in Relay for Life each year as a sisterhood to raise money for cancer research. We spend the night together on the back quad, walking for the cause, participating in activities, and even playing on the inflatable obstacle courses.
1, 2, 3, go!
Another fun activity for me at Roanoke is participating in the intramural games such as flag football and basketball. This year, my team went 6-2 in the flag football, and we went on to win the intramural flag football championship game for the girls. Also, there's so many fun things to do outdoors in the Roanoke Valley. When it's nice and warm outside, I love to go tubing and canoeing. During my sophomore year, I applied to be an internet communications assistant in the public relations office and quickly fell in love with my job. My boss, Whitney Anderson, has really worked closely with me to ensure that I know the ins and outs of all web communications. My favorite aspect of my job is the video production side. We produce videos just like this one. I get to be right in the middle of the production, recruiting students, sitting in on spot checks, and anything and everything that goes on behind the scenes. Sometimes I even fill in to be a part of the video. I don't want it on camera. The best part is when all the hard work is done and being able to see the final product. It's the most rewarding feeling. We found the equipment that would help produce and increase your productivity. This summer, I was able to apply the skills I gained in the classroom by participating in the Roanoke College Innovation Challenge. My team and I created a business plan for a local lady who makes chicken pies out of her basement. We were able to make pies with Lisa and work with her one-on-one to ensure that we were building the business plan of her dreams. We worked round the clock constantly researching ways to improve her kitchen, whether it was making the process more efficient or reducing her production time. It's extremely important from a business point because it allowed me to see all aspects of a business and how to put it together and how it all comes together in the very end. With the help and the guidance of our program directors, Dr. Mike Smith and Dr. Kevin Baker, at the end of the program, we were able to present our final business plan to real-life investors. I feel like I can tackle any obstacles that come my way. I'm excited for my future. Get involved, meet as many people as possible, but most importantly, have fun. The next 4 years are going to be the hardest, most important, but most enjoyable time of your life. Take advantage of it.
And we are back with men's soccer alumnus Steve Holt. Now, you are a 1974 graduate of Roanoke College and a men's soccer alum. Tell us, when you were a senior in high school looking at colleges, how did you end up choosing Roanoke?
Well, that's a great question. It had nothing to do with soccer because I hadn't ever played soccer before. I was a Roanoke student, and Roanoke College had a tremendous reputation academically. I'm also a Lutheran, and because Roanoke was Lutheran affiliated, my pastor had a lot to do with getting me here.
Now, as you said, very unique situation in playing men's soccer here. Can you tell us how you came to join the men's soccer team as a walk-on?
I played football, baseball, and wrestling in high school. I was a captain of my football team. And when I got to school, my roommate was a recruited player at Roanoke College. And he came in the fall with the grass smell, and I said, you know, I need to be doing something like what you're doing. He said, come on out. The idiot that I am, I did.
Now, you were a 3-year letterman on the men's soccer team, playing for the Maroon and White. You played for three-time All-American Scott Anderson and Elwood Fox. Can you tell us a little bit about playing for each coach?
Well, actually, Scott Anderson became my mentor. He was sort of our assistant coach, and he took me under his wing and made me the player that I was at Roanoke College. Elwood was an elder statesman at the time, and due to some issues that happened the year before with Andy Mosen, he was sort of asked to be the coach, and sort of begrudgingly he coached. So really Scott was the guy that led the team, but we had a bunch of really tremendous players that didn't need a whole lot of coaching.
Now, if you've come to watch the men's soccer team play in the last 5 years, you see that they play in one of the best college soccer facilities in Division III in Donald J. Kerr Stadium. Prior to that, they played for nearly 10 seasons at the Elizabeth Campus Field. 20 years prior to that, they played at Alumni Field, which is located behind Kerr Stadium. But when you played, the Maroons had to play at multiple facilities, such as the VA Field in Roanoke. What was unique about playing at both Alumni Field and the VA Field?
Well, the Alumni Field was nothing like Kerr Stadium, but because it was on campus, we got students to come down and cheer and watch the games, which was really important. We ended up having, I think my junior year, we had about 5 or 6 overtime games that were played in the rain. The field got destroyed, and that's why we had to go to the VA field. And, you know, you make the best of it. Kids came, but not nearly the numbers. And then we came back and played at Alumni Field. Nothing like the Kerr Stadium. You know, my only regret is that I never got to play on that field.
It certainly is a fantastic facility. Now as a walk-on, and as a senior in 1973, you were named team captain and by season's end earned the prestigious Jeffrey Childs Willis MVP Award. After knowing about the former goalkeeper at Roanoke and the award in his name, what did that mean to you as you closed in on your playing career?
Well, it was a tremendous honor. I didn't win the award because I was the best player. I won the reward because I was a leader and someone that probably hustled more than anybody else on the team. Fitness was my thing. That's how I played the game. And it was an honor because my teammates selected me to that position. Jeff Willis, he was a tremendous goalkeeper and had an unfortunate passing, and I think it's a great trophy that we keep going at Roanoke College.
Now, after graduation, you went into the business field and now a financial services representative at Greystone Financial Group in Roanoke. Being around the area over the last 35 years, do you remember any of the special soccer teams that Scott Allison or Rob Brewer have coached?
Yeah, I've been to at least 2 or 3 games every year. I don't get to as many as I'd like to. But throughout the years, there have been some tremendous players. Deladera was a very good player. Shane Green, another real good player. And I always remember, I know we're getting ready to play Virginia Wesleyan, and Virginia Wesleyan always seemed to be the team that we had to beat. And they always had the Beach Boys, and it sounds like this year maybe we have their number.
And I certainly hope so, and definitely hope that you can make it out to the game this weekend. Now, to close on this, you were a general manager for the Roanoke Wrath Pro Soccer team in Roanoke. You coached Aaron Ewert, and Dustin Fondert. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
It was a great experience. We actually had Grayson Perlman also on the team, and Shane played in the early days. We had a group of investors that decided to bring pro soccer to Roanoke, and what does that do?
We're still going.
And it was a great 5-year experience. Coaching those guys was a blast. I mean, I played with them as well, so it was kind of I didn't play on the team, but I played with them in practice and played with them on club teams, and so they had respect, but at the same time, we had a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It sounded like an amazing experience. Again, thank you for coming on the show. As we had mentioned earlier, it's always great to have the alumni come back, and we certainly hope to have you back here again. Hope that you can make it to the game that is coming up this weekend. And we will be back in just one moment with soccer player Andrew Howe.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Welcome back. I'm joined with men's soccer senior captain Andrew Howe. Andrew, you come from Pennsylvania. How did you hear about Roanoke, and what brought you down here to the campus in Salem?
Well, actually, I was trying to get out of Pennsylvania. I was trying to go south, and I enjoyed the Roanoke area, and also, I was recruited to play soccer here, so I really looked into it. And what really grabbed my attention is when I came down here, I just really loved the area, and the academics and the athletics were just extremely good, so I thought it would be a perfect fit.
Now, you've been able to climb the ladder for Coach Allison, learning the system freshman year, some playing time sophomore year, starting games junior year, and now senior as a captain. What do you think has been the most rewarding experience for you playing under Coach A?
I think the most rewarding is just being part of the tradition and the friendships that I've gained along the way. Every year we have alumni weekend. I see a lot of the alumni guys coming back on the team, and it's just always good to catch up and see them. And I still keep in touch with a lot of them, and just being part of this whole tradition of the men's soccer team has just been a great thing.
Now, did you know about any of the tradition before you came down to Roanoke?
I didn't really know a lot about it just because I was from Pennsylvania, so I wasn't from – a lot of kids on our team are local players, so they had some idea of what tradition was for Roanoke. But once I got here, I quickly learned and tried to follow what the older upperclassmen were teaching me, so it's just been a great atmosphere and experience.
Now, we've talked about tradition a couple times. How would you overall categorize the tradition that your team this season is building?
It's just based on playing for each other and playing for the school, our coach, and just keeping the tradition alive. A lot of people didn't really pick us to be at the top, and we finished the year at the top, and it's been just a great experience, and we've all just kind of really come together and formed a true brothership between each other.
Now, you guys will take on Virginia Wesleyan on Saturday. You've already won the regular season ODAC title. You're looking to take the run all the way through the tournament, get yourself a bid to the NCAAs. You've already played Virginia Wesleyan once this year. Tough game, able to come up with a win. Can you tell us a little bit about what that win can do for you guys this time when you play them?
That win right there was just kind of basically putting us over the top of them. We were able to, like we said, we were down 2-1 at halftime and came back and won 3-2, and it was just more of a kind of a boost in our ego to allow us to get ahead of them. And it was just a great experience, a great game to win. Virginia Wesleyan is always going to play us hard. The battle between Roanoke and Virginia Wesleyan is always going to be a good game, and I don't expect anything less of them than a very, very hard battled game this weekend.
Now, in your 3 years playing at Roanoke and so far this regular season, what game stands out the most to you?
There's been so many great ones over my 4 years, but I'd have to say this year, the Roanoke Invitational Tournament when we won both games against Richard Stockton and Emory. Those teams were top in their division. Emory was ranked 16 in the nation, I believe 18, something like that. And we had such a talented back line last year. We lost a lot of good our entire back line was seniors, lost 2 of our captains. It was just a great experience. It was more pride for the Roanoke program that we came out of there with 2 wins, and it was an uplifting thing for our entire team.
Now, even with a different team, like you said, you guys have had a lot of success this year. Look to continue it Saturday at home against Virginia Wesleyan. What advantage does it give you guys playing at home as opposed to traveling on the road?
Virginia Wesleyan's field is grass. It's pretty small. Our field is a turf field, very large. I mean, we've been playing it all year long. We understand it. I mean, it's just going to be a great atmosphere. We're going to have a lot of fans out there, and it's pretty hard to beat us at home.
Always. Andrew, thanks so much for coming down.
Thank you
We
much,
really
sir.
appreciate it. We'll be right back with men's soccer head coach Scott Allison. Yep. Welcome back. I'm joined with men's soccer coach Allison. Now, coach, the game against Randolph last Saturday, a little bittersweet, where your team lost 2-1. Eastern Mennonite fell as well, gave you guys the regular season title, the #1 seed in tournament with one game to play. How did you make sense of that game, and how did you take it losing, but at the same time coming up with a win?
Yeah, we'll take it any way you can get it. At the same time, you certainly would have preferred to get a result and then feel good about the evening and everything. But this is it's a tough conference, a lot of good teams and a lot of good coaches and a lot of good players. And in this league, we'll take it any way we can get it. And hopefully we're where we need to be.
Now, last night you guys fell to Hampton-Sydney 1-0, winning goal coming with about 15 minutes to go. Can you tell us a little bit about that contest and what transpired?
Hampton-Sydney's a good team. I think that they've struggled. Our sport, for the purists out there, know how difficult it is to score. Hampton-Sydney is a good team. Guilford's a good team. They're left out of the tournament. They have some of the better attacking players in the league. You gotta figure out a way to get results and you figure out a way to get the ball in the back of the net. We weren't able to do that yesterday. Got the first 15 minutes, we were all over them, but could not put the ball past them. You missed one real close, real early, and I still felt real confident most of the game until we gave up that goal. And from that point on, they probably had the better of it. And I think there's a lot of pressure on a #1 seeded team and especially a team that's in the national hunt and trying to keep their record as high as it is. And I think that pressure's off now. I think the tournament is here. It's time to gear up. And we didn't play Jake Mercer on Tuesday against Hampton-Sydney. He was pretty hobbled by a deep thigh injury, but I think he trained today and he looked good. And I think we'll be ready to go on Saturday.
Now, with those 2 straight losses, and everybody starts fresh in the tournament, but is there anything that you feel your team needs to focus on moving into Saturday?
Well, we need to finish. I think we need to do a better job of keeping possession. We were a very dangerous team in playing balls forward. We're a very dangerous team in getting in behind people. At the same time, we got to be able to keep it and be unpredictable. And we struggled in the last couple of games of being able to connect. Your players in advance of the ball have really got to make it stick and allow people to catch up, and we haven't been as effective at doing that in these last couple of games for whatever reason. And we worked on that a little bit today, and we'll work on it again some tomorrow, a little bit on Friday, in addition to a bunch of other things. And we're not trying to mix the pot. We think the recipe is a good one, and we're going to continue with the same recipe, but we always try to make it taste real good.
That's always the goal. Now, this weekend, you guys playing at home. Again, #1 seed, you'll have home field advantage throughout. What do you think are the major advantages for your team playing at home with a team like Virginia Wesleyan coming to town?
Well, we've got a big pitch. We've got a fast pitch. It's turf, and we're a tough team to beat on turf. I think that our speed of play is quite good, and I do think that. The atmosphere that we've been able to create with our home games and the fans and everything. This is not an easy place to play, and it's pretty much echoed by most of the coaches that come here and bring their teams here. So we're hoping that it bodes well for us.
Now this year against Virginia Wesleyan, another close game. Past couple meetings in the ODAC tournament have been very close, so 1-0. ODAC championship lost last time you guys were the #1 seed, winning in penalty kicks 2 years ago. What do you think will be the biggest challenge that you face going up against the Marlins on Saturday?
You know, I think that they're a talented team. They're very, very deep. They use a ton of people in a game. So, yeah, I'm guessing that they'll always be fresh. We're going to have to match that energy and that freshness with our depth as well. And so I think that'll be a challenge. I think that, they're solid from front to back. They're talented. They're well coached. They're organized. I think that I don't think it's going to be one of those games where somebody scores first and they're definitely going to be the winner. I think it's going to be a back and forth battle, and I think that I think the midfield is going to be crucial. I think we're going to need to win balls in midfield, not necessarily just the first ball, but the second ball, and we're going to make sure that we're organized to try to do that.
Coach, thanks so much for coming
Thanks,
down.
Nick.
Best
Thanks
of
for
luck
all
on
you've
Saturday.
done, and we appreciate you having Steve Holt on, another tremendous alum. We've got Aaron Ewart on recently and Donnie Smith, great people. So they've done so much for the program.
And thanks so much to Brad Moore, Sports Information Director, for getting everything organized. I'll be right back with Strength and Conditioning Coach Dave Sampson for our Meets of the Week.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Welcome back. I'm joined with Dave Sampson as we take a look at our Meets of the Week. Going to start off tonight with volleyball, where we have 3 nominees, Hawkins, Largent, and Long.
You pretty much read my script, aren't you, big fella?
I wrote the script.
What's left for me to do? Let's go over Rachel Hawkins. We call her Hasselhawk, senior out of Winchester, Virginia. She's had a great year. She's done a lot for us this year. She's done a great job killing the ball, blocking the ball, and just been a mainstay on the court for the Maroons. Next up, Kelsey Largent, her last outing, 11 kills and 6 digs. And finally, freshman from Midlothian, Virginia, Sarah Long had 9 kills, 8 digs, and 5 blocks. That's phenomenal. And I nominated these girls simply because of the word kill. Any sport that has kill as a statistic has got to be meet-worthy. Sarah had 9 of them. She had an all-around great performance in the last tournament. So the meet of the week goes to Sarah Long. Great job, Sarah. Congratulations.
Next up, field hockey. 5 nominees.
5 nominees. I go with Abby Bjork, Katie. We got Mary Coco Pace. Tina Shiccoloni, we call her T-Shick, and a personal favorite of mine from Darien, Connecticut, Lee Sheldon. Those are the 5 seniors this year. They've gone a long way with Coach Banks of turning the program around and getting it headed in the right direction. So I thought all of the young ladies deserved to be not only nominated, but win Meet of the Week T-shirts. I couldn't be any more proud of those girls. They've done a phenomenal job. They got the Lady Maroon field hockey team on the right track, so I'm really excited for them. They got a big game tomorrow night and a big weekend ahead of them.
Well, absolutely. Third, take a look at the 3 nominees for women's soccer.
Women's soccer, I'm going to sneak a 4th nominee in here. First up is goalie Carolyn Sarbacher. Yeah, I know. I'm going off the charts here. Carolyn Sarbacher, she's getting nominated because she's got a mild concussion. I've been calling her the crash test dummy, so she gets an award from that one. Unfortunately, she got the concussion from one of our own players, Jordan May. So that's why Jordan's on the list this week. So she's the one who actually headbutted Carolyn in a game a couple weeks ago, and it's kept Carolyn out of action. And then the ever-popular ODAC Soccer Player of the Week, Carmen Graves. She's done a phenomenal job, and I got her on there because she scores goals with her head. She headbutts the ball in. That in itself is meet-worthy. And finally, my final nominee, I talked to her early. She was actually a guest on the show from New York, Cindy Satora. She got a little bit frothed up against the Lady Eagles of Mary Washington University. last game. We came away with a 1-0 victory. I understand there was some sour grapes on the field, and this girl was pushing Cindy around. I think I understand from some of our players she bowed up and put the girl in her place, told her what was going to happen, and it happened. So, Cindy, great job. Cindy's the meat of the week this week.
Nominee coming out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, a little surprise winner for you.
It's like you write the script. Taking a look lastly at men's soccer. 8 nominees. I'll let you go through this one.
It is. I couldn't be any more proud of these guys. They're in the weight room just about every daggone day. Garrett, Robert Finn, A.J. Tierce, Johnny Hughes, Chris Conover are mainstays in the weight room. I know I'm leaving some guys out. Jake Mercer, he's in there all the time. Jake Shore's also in there. They do a good job. They come in there before practice. Sometimes they come in after practice. I couldn't be any more proud of these guys. Coach A's got them going the right way. They're beefing it up in the weight room. My final nominee, Avery Maitland. I'm telling you when I'm nominating Avery. We had a high-spirited game the other night against Randolph. You know, some tempers flared a little bit. Avery stepped in. He got a little fired up. He's taking up for his teammate, and he ended up, kind of calming things down and separating things. And it just made me proud to see Avery go out there and stand up for his teammates in his own home field. And so, Avery, you get it this time, big fella. Great job.
Those are your meets of the week from the one and only strength and conditioning coach, Dave Sampson. Richmond and I will be right back to close it out.
Thanks again.
Roanoke College. Timeless and true. Smart and solid. Practical and professional. Making discoveries about yesterday. Creating visions for tomorrow. Lifted by a winning college spirit. Forging lifetime friendships with professors who prepare you for a place at the head of an operating table or another bright future. Roanoke College. Classic for tomorrow.
Be sure to catch Roanoke College sports on Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7 in Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, Lexington, and Blacksburg. Brought to you by Mac and Bob's, Main Street, Salem. For programming information or schedules, go to valleyvisiontv.com.
And we are back now to look ahead to the upcoming week. Tomorrow, the field hockey team will travel to Harrisonburg, Virginia, to face Eastern Mennonite in a match that will decide both teams' final seeds in the ODAC tournament. If the Maroons win, they will earn the number 4 seed, and they will end up hosting here at Roanoke College at Donald J. Hurst Stadium for the first time since 2004, which will be a big feat. The quarterfinal games 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 will be played on Saturday at the location of the higher seed. The cross-country team will travel to Bedford, Virginia on that day being Saturday, for their ODAC tournament run. The women's 6K will start at 11 a.m., while the men's 8K will take place at noon.
You mentioned the potential for field hockey hosts on Saturday. Saturday going to get even busier. Men's and women's soccer both at home as they host their quarterfinal matches. The women playing host to the number 6-seeded Guilford Quakers, while the men will take on the number 8-seeded Virginia Wesleyan Marlins. Times have not yet been released, so visit maroons.roanoke.edu for more information as it becomes available. Richmond, you've been following the field hockey team the whole season, calling their games. What are you thinking about their contest tomorrow?
I think they have just as good a chance as any to win tomorrow. They're on a roll, have won their last 2 contests. Coming into this, spirits are high. It would be really important for the program in terms of building that spirit and building it just very high energy for Saturday if they could be able to host it at home. But I know that no matter what in the tournament, they will definitely show up and put on a good performance.
Now you can like Roanoke Athletics on Facebook. You can also follow them on Twitter at RC Athletics, where you can also catch behind-the-scenes videos right here from Mac and Bob's and Tuesday Night Live. Our Sports Information Director, Brad Moore, Athletic Director, Scott Allison, for everyone here at Mac and Bob's and Reed Hall, Richmond Bramblett, I'm Nick DeSanctis. We'll see you next time.
For information or schedules on Valley Vision TV programs, visit us on the internet at valleyvisiontv.com. Remember, you're watching the Valley's only true local network, Valley Vision TV, Comcast Channel 7.